Okay. Well, it has happened. Yeah, we are live. Alistair, I appreciate you joining me. Um, you know, today, uh, we've got this whole series of why your hotel. And when I started down that road, I wasn't quite sure what all the topics were going to be that would be best for the market. And this is one that, you know, bubbled right up to the top, because it seems like a real challenge for everybody. And, you know, most hotels do have this digital blind spot. They're a lot are poorly designed and inaccessible even. So wanted to spend a little time with you on this topic. So let's kick it off with really, like, what do you consider the most significant shift you've seen in how hotels approach this digital transformation over the past 5 years?
Look, for me, the most significant shift has been twofold. The first one is simply just having an online presence. It was back then enough to just be visible. But as digital trends evolved and hotels quickly realized that e-commerce wasn't just a convenience, it became a critical revenue stream for them, with direct bookings through online channels, driving their bottom line. Then the big game changer is the transition from desktop to mobile.
Yeah.
So now it's not just a website anymore. It's about delivering a seamless, branded experience that mirrored what guests would expect when walking through the hotel doors. Now the digital journey is an extension of the hotel's identity, a vital touch point where first impressions are made, loyalty is built, and guest experiences begin, all before the guest steps foot in the lobby. The shift has fundamentally transformed how hotels position themselves in a digital landscape, making their online presence an integral part of their overall brand experience.
Yeah. With accessibility laws coming to effect in Europe, and I think we've had some of these challenges in the States as
Yeah.
well, how should hoteliers prepare for that
Well,
compliance?
as you said, yeah, as you said, we've seen it in the States, so we're quite fortunate that we've got an insight. And it's where accessibility has become the cornerstone of inclusivity, ensuring that everyone, regardless of ability, can easily navigate a website and book a room. 20% of the US population has a disability that affects their internet usage. So for hoteliers, that is not just a legal requirement, it's an opportunity to welcome all guests and expand their market. So the first thing for me that they have to do is look hard at their website, work closely with the web providers to ensure compliance. The general consensus is that aligning with WCAG 2.1 AA standards is the key to meeting their requirements. And this isn't just a tick boxing exercise. It's about making your site usable for all. These standards ensure that screen readers can accurately interpret the site for the visually impaired. And they also address details like color contrast. So even guests with partial vision impairment can easily browse and book. Getting this right not only keeps you compliant, but also positions your property as one of the genuinely values inclusivity, something that can set you apart in the increasing competitive market. So this is more than just a technical update. It's about enhancing the guest experience for everyone.
20% in the States?
Yeah. Yep.
God, that's a big number.
And that was 2023 from the Forrester's report. So yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Moving on from your experience, like what do you think are the most common mistakes you see uh, with regards to how a hotel's website translates their brand into the physical?
So the first thing, I think the first biggest mistake is actually appreciating the true value of your website. So let me ask, what is my website worth to me, or your website worth to you? The customer journey today typically begins with a search engine leading directly to your hotel's website. This means your website is the first touch point and often the most profitable path to booking, far more than anything through OTA. So here's how we fix it. Firstly, invest in visibility. Make sure you have a digital marketing budget that ensures guests can effectively find your site. Without visibility, even the most beautiful websites are ineffective. Secondly, recognize its value. Understand that once the guest lands on your website, it's the most direct and profitable route to booking. Check your booking engine. How much direct revenue is your site generating? That's a clear indicator to its worth. Now, look, I'm not suggesting that you pour all your direct revenue into a website, but this is where you need to pause and reflect. Is my website doing my hotel justice? Look at the homepage, especially above the fold. This is your virtual shop window. This is where you capture attention, entice your guests, and start delivering the experience that makes your property stand out. Your website should embody your brand's identity, not just in how it looks, but in how it feels and how it functions. Make sure that when a potential guest lands on your page, they are already beginning the experience you want them to have.
You feel like, I feel like a lot of agencies, uh, web designers can get close to that feeling that you're describing. It's not as hard as it used to be, right? The tech,
Well,
the
there's so much money spent on brand today. The brand agencies give so much back to us to be able to deliver that. Absolutely. The way photos are taken, the way content is written, all helps.
yeah, yeah. How about SEO and accessibility? Increasingly interconnected. So, share with us, the elements that can work together to elevate a hotel's digital presence and
Yeah.
visibility.
Yeah. Interestingly, that best practice you talk about there, it hasn't always been as aligned and as seamless as you might think. But the changing and the real opportunity for hoteliers lies in harnessing this synergy. The one key area that I'm going to talk about today is alt tags. So alt tags, the alternate tag that goes with every image. So historically, SEO alt tags were optimized to stuff in keywords for better rankings, but that didn't always provide the most accessible experience for users. Relying on screen readers to read that alt tag to the customer. Now Google is catching up and they're aligning alt tags with accessibility standards. This is great news because optimizing for accessibility also helps boost your search ranking. So when you review your website, make sure that every image has an alt tag that serves both purposes. It should be descriptive enough for a screen reader to convey what the image is about, but also optimized for search engines. A well-written alt tag not only ensures that your site is accessible to everyone, but it also tells Google that your site is providing valuable, context-rich content, leading to higher ranking. In essence, by focusing on accessibility, you're not just meeting legal standards, you're also improving your SEO, which means more visibility, better user experience, and ultimately more bookings.
Yeah. Custom design. Like, it's often touted as a solution for brand alignment, but like, what's your opinion? The role of personalization and customization.
Custom design to me is fundamental, and that brand alignment has never been more crucial today, especially in the competitive hotel market. It's no longer just about showcasing your logo using the right colors. It's about showcasing the full essence of your brand. From the way your images are composed, the language and the tone of the content, every element should reflect the experience your guest can expect at your property. Personalization plays a huge role in website success because today's guests are looking for more than just a room. They're seeking an experience. Your website should be an extension of the guest experience, giving visitors a sense of your property before they step through the door. Again, it's your digital shop window, and it needs to tell your story in the way that draws guests in. So how do we balance aesthetics and functionality? Well, it starts with the understanding that great design isn't just about looking good. It's about creating an intuitive, seamless user experience. Beautiful visuals need to work hand in hand with fast loading times, easy navigation, direct booking options. If your site is visually stunning but difficult to use, it's no use to anyone. Ultimately, your website should feel like a natural extension of the hotel, where personalization enhances the experience and functionality ensures guests can move effortlessly from interest to booking.
Yeah, the just the amount of sites we look at whenever we start searching for where we want to stay. I mean, after about 12 of them, you're like, I don't remember one from the other. So yeah, you should spend the effort to stand out.
Absolutely. You have to stand out. You absolutely must. In today's market, you absolutely must stand out.
Yeah, and then usability. Yeah, yeah. There's nothing worse than, I mean, you boom, it's pretty pictures, and
Yeah.
then you're
But if you
you're
can't figure
stumbling
out where the
along.
navigation is, yeah, exactly. Exactly. And similarly, if you've got a really intuitive site, but it doesn't look as good,
Yeah,
you're in exactly the same boat. They have to work hand in hand.
yeah, yeah. Um, so back when the pandemic hit, the pandemic kind of accelerated the shift towards digital. But the expectations for the online experience have evolved. Like, so how should hotels be thinking about the customer journey from an online perspective?
Okay, let me again ask by asking a question. Start by asking a question. How much do you think the Amazon's website has changed over the years?
Every time I log on.
But most people think not much
No.
because what Amazon do is they make subtle, continuous changes.
Yeah.
Rather than making sweeping changes all at once and big bang go lives, Amazon has evolved its website through a series of small strategic updates. And this is the mindset that hotels now need to adopt. Yes, the pandemic has dramatically accelerated this shift towards digital, but it's also changed how often we need to think about evolving our online presence. I think today the average lifespan of a website is about 3 years.
Still.
Yeah, so instead of viewing your website as a one time capital expense, start thinking of it as an evolving service, something that grows and adopts alongside your business. As new technologies emerge, your website should be ready to adopt them. When Google tweaks its algorithm again, your website should be agile enough to adjust. This flexibility is essential in today's fast moving digital landscape, where guest expectations constantly rising, your website isn't just a static platform, it's a dynamic part of the guest journey and it needs to evolve.
Yeah. I would think, like, you're editing your site. I would hope hotels are editing their site monthly.
Oh,
And then
I'd want that to be so. You look at blogs. Blogs are great from a content perspective, but I'm talking about under the hood work. I'm
yeah, and that's
talking
kinda where
about
well,
new blocks, new modules, new
yeah,
functionality, stuff that you're working not as the hotel per se, but you're working with your web developers, your agencies, for them to continuously deliver a service.
yeah.
So if you think about that, you might think about, your SaaS model, and you're delivering new functionality every 3 months.
Hmm.
That's where we need to take websites. That's the thought process into that service model.
Yeah, because you work with a hotel and you get their website up, and I think immediately you start between the hotel and yourself, you start thinking about, "Oh, we should do this or we should try that." And like, in a few weeks, let's try that and
Hmm.
continue to hammer on it and improve that experience.
And then suddenly the European agent, the EU comes out and goes, "Oh, we're going accessibility." So rather than, I've got to build a brand new website, I've got to spend all that money to build it, your agency should be tweaks in the background to keep you compliant rather than having to do a brand new full-fledged website for you.
Yeah.
That's the mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of leads me into where I was headed next with the, upcoming European accessibility laws. Those challenges, what have you got for hoteliers with regards to what's coming down?
So obviously, and rightly so, focused on accessibility. So that is number one. But there are a few other compliance challenges on the horizon, some that we already know about, but they may change, and some new. So obviously, the biggest area to watch is still data privacy. With regulations like GDPR and CCPA already in place, the landscape of digital protection is constantly evolving, and we're likely to see even more stricter measures introduced. The key here is understanding not just how you collect and store data, but how transparent and secure your processes are. And as more hotels use personalization and AI driven technologies, this is likely to only get more critical. Some of the other areas to look at: sustainability reporting. God, I can't say that. So, whilst it's not a legal requirement in many regions, the pressure for hotels to show their environmental impact is growing. Guests are increasingly making choices based on sustainability, and soon it won't just be a marketing advantage, it will likely become a compliance issue. And then you've obviously got web security. As hotels integrate with more third party systems and rely on digital booking platforms, ensuring that your website and guest data are secure from cyber threats is non negotiable. Regular security audits, compliance, and the latest cybersecurity protocols will be vital to avoid any nasty surprises down the line. Again, in short, while accessibility is crucial, hoteliers need to stay ahead of the curve on data privacy, sustainability, and web security.
Yeah. Speaking of data, uh, so how can hoteliers leverage things like data analytics and AI to improve their website performance and experience?
Again, in short, it's about making the right decisions at the right time. So data analytics and AI are truly transforming the operation. And when used strategically, they can elevate both your website's performance and the guest experience. The key is leverage data in real time to make more informed, personalized decisions. Our customer services team do that today. We use this data to pace moving forward, again, rather than looking backwards. But let's start with your website. By using AI driven analytics, you can track how users interact with your site, where they click, how long they stay, and at what point they might abandon the booking process. This kind of granular insight allows you to make real time adjustments, like tweaking page layouts, streamlining booking funnels, or offering targeted promotions at the right moment. But it's also understanding the customer journey as well. We know that people don't book first time out. They come back to the website 3, 4 times before they actually make that booking. And again, it's all about understanding that process. For me, the real magic happens when you take the data beyond just improving performance and use it to personalize the guest experience. So imagine, we do this today. Imagine if your website could adopt and based on the guest's previous interactions, by targeting the data analytics, you can tailor content to each user's preference. If a repeat guest has previously booked a suite with a spa package, the website can promote similar offerings there and then, making the journey feel seamless and catered to them.
Yeah. Yeah, I just got a little sneak peek at H2C's upcoming direct booking survey
Wow.
results. And October 22nd comes out. So I can't divulge too much. I'll get in trouble. But it really did allude to really disparate systems that the data wouldn't flow to allow that to happen like you just
Yeah,
described,
yeah,
so it's really hurting direct bookings.
it does. It does.
Yeah. Um, so how about you had mentioned, you know, don't think about your website as a one-time capital expense.
Yeah.
It's and thinking about it every 3 years probably ain't going to cut it. So, uh, you know, how would you advise hoteliers, with regards to budget constraints when redesigning and like what are non-negotiables and how should they invest? What do you think?
So when getting a new website, if budget is tight, there are a couple of key things that you need to just make sure happen out of the box. One, mobile optimization. Guests are booking on their phones more so than their desktop. That's a trend that we've seen. So your site needs to be seamless on mobile. Speed. Yeah, if the website doesn't load fast enough, people aren't sticking around to book. And you need to invest in a streamlined booking engine. Get the direct booking as fast as possible. Similarly, security. Your SSL, making sure that you're following your regulations, your GDPRs, your CCPA. But if, like we talked about earlier, look at it as a service. Your website provider may look at offering you something that you spread your cost over the period of the contract, just like you do with a SaaS product. So build the website as a service so that you're getting that continual delivery all the time and continual support. And that might suit a budget better than a big capital expense.
To wrap up, what do you see over happening over the next few years, in particular with website development?
Well, AI is certainly the big buzzword at the moment. Um, Personally, I think we're years, if not decades away from AI delivering your new website for you, at a press of a button. However, that doesn't mean that AI doesn't have a role to play today. It's about using AI to solve specific challenges that you have today. So we talked about alt tags earlier on. This is a perfect case where AI can make a real impact. Instead of manually writing alt text for what could be 2,000 images on your website, AI can scan and generate an accurate, descriptive alt tag in a matter of seconds, saving you hours. But more importantly, ensuring that you're compliant with accessibility standards. It's these small yet really powerful AI-driven efficiencies that are going to help you stay ahead. So the other trend, and we kind of hit on it earlier on, the personalization momentum. You know, you look at Netflix. Netflix offers you, oh, you're going to like this movie, 98% chance because of the history of things you've watched. That's going to become a much more evolution to websites, especially in the hotel industry where you've got a guest. You know, guests are looking for that, not looking for that generic experience. They want a journey that feels personal and relevant and tailored to them. In the next few years, I believe the websites will become even more dynamic and delivering that specialized content, depending on where you are in the booking journey, depending on what pages you visited. And then finally, the last one, as we've talked about a couple of times, is I encourage you to treat your website as a service. Don't think of it as a static entity. The website go live is no longer the end of its journey. It's the beginning. Your website should continuously evolve. New features, designs, functionalities being added regularly. And make sure your website partner is committed to delivering ongoing innovations, keeping the site fresh, functional, and ahead of the curve.
Very good. This has been most informative, sir.
You're very, very welcome, sir.
I appreciate it. All right. Till next time. I'll have to have you. I have to have you back.
Please do. Please do.
Okay, so that excites you. Very good.
I'll tell you later.